the massacres more.
The ghosts are moving tonight, restless.
House on Haunted Hill is about a rich husband and wife who throw a party at a haunted house with a bunch of complete strangers. They pick 5 random people and offer them $10,000 each to spend the night there.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
Blood drips from the ceiling, chandeliers fall, and in the basement there's a pool of acid that can disintegrate any human or animal to the bare bones. Who will live and who will survive this night at the House on Haunted Hill? The plot is derived from the typical old dark house format, which is basically a murder mystery under the guise of the house being haunted. The characters are always led to believe ghosts are to blame, but in the end, it usually turns out one of them is the murderer. It's easy for modern audiences to look back at this particular movie and mistake it for being one of the main examples of this genre, but really, this movie came out in 1959. The old dark house genre was prominent in the 20s and 30s, so it was already an old cliché by this point. This movie is self-aware and is actually making fun of the genre.
I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
The first time I saw it, I took it too seriously. I liked how it set up a good creepy mood, but I became very frustrated with the plot. The host tells the guests that they'll get the money as long as they stay in the house all night, but then tells them at midnight there's going to be bars on all the doors and windows and the phones will be disabled, so they couldn't leave anyway.
And the only door to the outside locks like a vault. There's no electricity, no phone.
I hated the character Nora. All she does is scream, scream, and scream.
All of you get out of here and leave me alone! Just get out of here!
She wanders all around the place and keeps finding more horrors, as if she's deliberately looking for things to scare herself. Then there's a mysterious man and woman who look like rejects from the Addams Family. They keep popping out of dark corners to scare the shit out of her. And then it's casually explained that they're the caretakers. After that, you never see them again. Nothing makes any sense.
Jonas Slides and his wife.
And for a movie where nothing supernatural is actually supposed to happen, how did the wife make herself float outside the window? We know she used a hanging harness to fake her death, but the window scene is a whole other thing. And how does she make the rope do this? My only thought is that Nora is so scared by the house and the tricks played on her are so effective that she goes insane and imagines all these supernatural things. The most logical event that ever happens, and what could have potentially ended the movie, is when the characters decide they're all going to bed. Yeah, they're all going to their own rooms and nobody's coming out until the morning. Anyone to come out of their room would only draw suspicion on them.
And if we all stay in our rooms, we'll be safe. Because the innocent will have no reason to leave his room, and the guilty will admit his guilt if he or she does.
It's the most sensible idea, the smartest fucking thing anyone has ever said in a horror film. But then they all start walking around the house again, and not one person ever pops their head out and says, "Hey, you left your room." No mention of it whatsoever. The body count is disappointingly very low, but this was before the slasher genre. The old dark house movies always had a low body count, so this was typical. I won't give away the whole murder scheme, but you'd already know somebody is trying to kill somebody. Rather than just quickly shooting them with a gun, and they have guns, they instead set off a series of chain events like some kind of elaborate mousetrap. The most inefficient murder ever planned. And when you do realize what it is that actually happened and how it all played out, it's very amusing. Vincent Price is excellent. He plays the main host with a sneaky, dark sense of humor. It feels like he's inviting you into the party, speaking to the audience directly, as if you're one of the guests.
And I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing.
The scenes with him and his wife are the best parts of the movie as far as dialogue and acting goes. Right away, they set up that the husband and wife hate each other. They explain that the wife actually tried to kill him before.
You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
They shrug it off and move on, just like it's any typical married quarrel.
You'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
These scenes have the same kind of dark humor as you would see in an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
I I hear that hanging is very uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas.
It's true that William Castle was always trying to rival Hitchcock. He would even appear in his own trailers, just like Hitchcock did. But at the same time, he was a lot like Ed Wood, making the kind of films that people would call campy or cheesy. But these scenes of underplayed domestic murder attempts is where Castle rose above and almost shared the same kind of sly wit as Hitchcock.
Would you adore me as much if I were poor?
Castle just wanted to entertain and put on a good show. In the movie theaters, during the scene with the skeleton, a skeleton on a string was supposed to fly out above the audience's heads. Reportedly, it didn't always work right, and the kids would always throw things at it, but they went out of their way to advertise it as a new film process called Emergo, where characters from the movies come to life and emerge from the screen. That was Castle's trademark. He would always do those type of gimmicks. This is a certain type of horror film that you're not meant to take seriously. It's the equivalent of Halloween decorations that show jack-o'-lanterns, witches, and black cats. They don't look scary, but they're traditional. They're essential with the Halloween season, and likewise, House on Haunted Hill is essential for good spooky fun.
And then they'll come for you.
By the way, you want to see something real creepy? My DVD was glitching up. Check this out.
The ghosts are moving tonight.
That is disturbing.
I own the house.
Whoa.
I've only spent one night there,